Good afternoon, everyone. So, let's talk about what's wrong with the division. In particular, the Dark Zone. PvP in the division has been problematic pretty much since 1.1. Um, Gear sets changed a lot. Uh, it brings out the worst in people for sure. Gank squads running around, killing solo players, clapping on their bodies, doing jumping jacks, cutting ropes. I think cutting the rope is kind of an interesting thing. I get people farming other players. I don't mind PvP. I actually like PvP. The problem with PvP in the Dark Zone is this. It's unbelievably unbalanced. Not even close to balanced. Every update they seem to make just changes the meta. And that's the inherent problem with the division and with PvP in the Dark Zone is that there is a meta. They, for some reason at Massive, cannot figure out a way to make it so that all gear sets are somewhat viable. Right now in 1.5, if you're not running Alpha Bridge, or at the very least Predator's Mark, you're dead. Even if you are running that, unless you have a good, well-rounded squad, you're dead. Sticky bombs used to be a big problem. It was a one-shot sticky bomb, then it came back at 1.5, but then they fixed it. I know because I tested it out. I made a sticky bomb build just to see if it would work. 520,000 damage per sticky bomb. Couldn't drop anybody, even with 350,000 health. That's fine. That's good. You shouldn't be able to one-shot people. But then there's fire turrets. And the fire turrets are so strong and do so much damage, even with hardly any skill power. I mean, if you have 2,700 electronics, which is the base, really, it takes 2 to 3 magazines on an LVOA or a lightweight M4 to take out a fire turret. The other problem is that when you're on fire, you can't shoot, so you're a sitting duck. And if it's not fire turrets, it's shock turrets. Now, my hat's off to people for using what works. I don't have a problem with that. But what I have a problem with is the way the game has been designed so that you can't really PvP. It's not PvP. It's just, getting murdered over and over again by groups that are overly powered. They're not even shooting you most of the time. They're shooting you when you're immobilized or when you're on fire. My team fought a group on Manhunt the other night, and these guys were running really high-powered seeker mines and fire turrets and hiding up in DZ2 in that little platform, just hiding away, trying to run off the Manhunt. Now, what I don't understand is what the advantage is to having a Manhunt and getting the XP. I messaged the guys, says, we're just trying to run the Manhunt off and get XP. Well, who cares about Dark Zone rank? It gets you absolutely nothing. Initially, you needed a high Dark Zone rank to buy really good weapons in the Dark Zone vendors, but that's not the case anymore. Now you get great stuff everywhere. Even DZ chests. Who cares if you lose keys? You don't get anything out of a DZ chest that you can't get from anywhere else, from any other NPC, even a regular old red NPC. The gear drops are the same all the way across the Dark Zone, 1 to 6, so does it really matter? I don't think so. So really, it's just bragging rights, I guess. But most people are really high level if you've been playing the game anyway. I went all the way down from 93 to 71 because I just stopped caring. It didn't matter at all. But when I messaged these guys and I said, why don't you come down and fight? Why are you hiding up there? And they wanted the XP, and I thought, well, what for? This isn't PvP. The division doesn't have PvP. It just doesn't, because people aren't running around fighting. There's no balance. There's no level playing field. It's just a waste of time. The DZ is a great place to farm. You can extract a lot of items. I've got between 170 and 200 million credits at all times, with nothing to spend it on, really. Phoenix credits, same thing. There's really nothing to spend them on. I'm buying random blueprints and green sealed caches for no particular reason other than I have the credits all the time. So I really hope that that Red Storm somehow figures out a way to make the playing field level so that PvP actually exists. So you can go in the Dark Zone or whatever area they put it in and actually do player versus player, where some kind of skill comes into it and you never know whether you're going to live or die. Right now, people know exactly when they're going to live and die. it's not even cheesing, but if you're using the meta, which currently exists, Alpha Bridge or Predator's Mark and Fire Turrets and Seeker Mines, you're pretty much, if you have a well-rounded group, you're going to live. And if you hide, you're going to live. So that to me, that's not PvP. I really hope they fix it. I have applied for the task force. I really hope I get it. I sincerely doubt I will. You know, I think that if not me, people like me, grown men that play these games, that have the money to spend on these games, and want to enjoy it, want to unwind from our workday, want to escape reality for a little while and have some fun. Right now, it's just not fun. And I really hope they can fix that, and I hope that I can be a part of it. But if I can't, I hope the people that they select are reasonable and have some good ideas. I've spent a lot of time in this game, thousands of hours. I think I have some great ideas on what works and what doesn't work. If I can't be part of it, I hope that they pick people who are regular old players and not just, YouTube sensations and well-known players on Twitch. I really hope that's not the case. So Redstorm and Massive, if you're listening, pick some real people who actually play this game and will tell you the way it is without sugarcoating it. The last Elite Task Force, all these YouTubers that went were very critical of the game and of Massive before they went. All of a sudden, we're just, it's the greatest thing ever, and Massive is so great. And I hope that's not the case. I hope we get some realistic, regular people that play this game, that have some input to make it enjoyable. Because if they don't, and if they don't come up with some real content to play, I just can't see any reason to continue playing it. And I hope that's not the case, because I love the game. I think it's the best game I've ever played. I'll probably keep playing for a while, but I really hope it changes. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I hope you all have a great day, and hopefully I'll see you in the Dark Zone.